Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new weekly episode of the War in the East 2 editor tutorial. Before going into the topics of today, I wanted to give you a quick update on the ground elements. I don't know why it's here. Specifically about speed and size, because we finally got an answer from the developers, and we now know that speed and size that they play a role in the ground combat phase, and they affect the chance of the ground element to receive a hit. And basically, speed, the higher the speed, the lower is the chance of this ground element in being hit, and the bigger the size, and the higher is the chance of the ground element in being hit. And this makes sense because exactly, I think I was already looking at it before. In the siege tutorial, I remember that both of my Carl siege mortars got hit during the ground phase, and this now explains, for instance, why. Because the Carl siege mortar has a speed of 0 and has a size of 10, so it is very likely to hit this element during a ground combat. And well, that's all, basically. That's it. Now, if we go to the main topic of today, the air groups. By now, you should be familiar with the typical interface. On the left-hand side, we find all the information needed to build or to modify our air groups. On the right-hand side, we have the famous list of air groups. In the top section of the right-hand side, let's say column, we do have two new buttons. These are clear and disable, and they do almost the same thing. Clear physically erase all the information in this slot, and yeah, remember there is no undo button, so use clear with caution, let's say. While disable, disable, yeah, as you can see, like clear is gone. Disable instead prevents the selected air group from ever arriving again on the in the campaign, basically. And if you compare, for instance, this one here, the main differences are that now the disabled air group has a delay of 250, and the tier box is set to none. I mean, you can manually type here 250, but it's not really needed. You can click on disable, and boom, there you go. 250, just to clarify this, is because the longest scenario, like the 1941 campaign, has a length of 216 turns. So anything above 216, like 217, 218, and so on and so forth, will basically disable the selected air groups from arriving to the tiered boxes. And additionally, you see that the selected air group now has changed color from green to this light blue turquoise color. And this means that this air group is now disabled. It will never arrive. It will never play a role in the campaign. The green air groups are the ones which will arrive, in this case to the Axis Reserve tier box, with a specific delay, and we will talk about it in a few minutes. The orange one are the air groups which are already present at the beginning of the scenario, but they are not on the map. And in this case, the Aufklärungsstaffel of the 11th Fliegerkorps is located in the Balkans tier box. The yellowish, light yellow, beige air groups are instead the ones which are present at the beginning of the scenario and on the map. And to go into the details, let's have a look at the first group of the third Jagdgeschwader. ID is the number over here. Here, if you click, you change the name, and here you have the information about the aircraft. If you click on here, you are redirected to the aircraft. To the aircraft tab. And so, if you want to change the aircraft, you have to go over here. You click on aircraft, and there, and here you pick the aircraft of interest. And down here, you have some information about the composition of the aircraft selected. Here you also see the weapon set. Now, normally the weapon set is set as auto or 0. And in this specific case, for the 1941 campaign, here it says that the BF-109F2 is equipped with the 250 kilograms bomb. No, this is wrong. This is a glitch, a graphic bug. If you go over here, oh sorry, yes, so it's in Austin, exactly. You see that it is equipped with the 300 liters drop tank. Why it says it has the 250 kilogram bombs, I don't know. And yeah, so you can ignore this for the time being. And over here you have the type of aircraft, the BF-109F2, and the category of aircraft, which is a fighter bomber. Over here you have the information about the air HQ. This is just a visual information, and you can change this in the AOG editor. What you can change here, however, is to which AOG is this air group attached. In this case, you click over here, and you click on, in this case, on the 3rd Jagdgeschwader, and you're good to go. Airbase. If you click on here, you are redirected to the Units tab, and we will talk about it more extensively in its dedicated tutorial. And here you have attached units, 5 air units attached, and here you go, the first group of the 3rd Jagdgeschwader. If you want to change the airbase, there are 2 ways of doing it. The first one is the fastest, I would say, way, which is the on-map based redeployment of the air group. To do it, you simply select the air group of interest. Let's say we want to move it to Poznan. You can either click with Ctrl and you draw the square box, or you click Shift and you select the Poznan airbase. And once it's selected, you right click over here and you click on Execute Air Transfer Immediate, just like in the Grand campaign. The major drawback of this system is that planes will accumulate the percentage of miles/kilometers traveled, and the pilots will also increase their fatigue. This can be easily, say, fixed by moving all the air groups that you want to move on the map. Then you go to the CSV, you select the air groups and the pilots, you export them, and in the air groups you find the column regarding the percentage of miles/kilometers traveled, and you set everything to 0. And the same is true for the pilots. You look for the column which says, I think, FAT, the short for fatigue, and you set everything to 0. If you want to be more, let's say, if you want to do a more surgical editing, you have to look for the specific air groups, and this can be easily done by checking the ID of the air group of interest. And then, of course, you select manually and you set everything to 0. The other way, which is safer but a bit bugged, I must say, is to click over here and you change the airbase of interest. Now, I say it is a bit bugged because just by clicking over here, the game needs some time to record the change of the airbase, because if you see over here, it says that the air group is now in Poznan, but if you look at the AOG, it still fails to recognize that the air group has been moved. So what you have to do is to go over here and again you click on the 3rd Jagdgeschwader AOG, and now you see that the 3rd Jagdgeschwader AOG includes the Poznan airbase, which now contains the air group that we have just moved. Group type. There are 3 types of groups: the groups, squadron, or the flight, which in German they're called the Gruppe, the Schwarm, and the Staffel. And you can simply change the group size over here based on the number, and then here you have three very self-explanatory numbers. Ready indicates the planes which are ready, operational, repaired, and that will take part in the air missions. Reserve indicates the planes which are ready, are operational, but that they will not take part in the air mission. The reserve planes can be incorporated in the ready pool during the next logistics phase. And damaged are the planes which are of course not ready, not operational. They will not take part in any air mission unless they get repaired. And maximum is of course the maximum number of planes that this specific group type can have. And again, as a quick reminder, you can go over here, edit air profiles, and here you see, in this case for the single engine fighters, you can edit over here the maximum number of planes that you can have during a specific time period. Nation, again here you pick the nation of interest. And a small pro tip, I always, just because I have, I think, the muscle memory, before picking the aircraft I always select the nation, because for me it's much easier to first of all assign the nation, read the name of the nation, then assign the specific aircraft type. Player, axis, or Soviet is again just a visual information. Experience is nothing more than the arithmetic average of the experience of all the pilots. If you don't trust me, you can do the sum of all these numbers and you will get 2800. If you divide 2800 by 35, you get precisely 80. Morale is also a value that is affected by the pilot experience, but this can be manually changed. Delay indicates basically the number of turns that have to elapse before the selected air group becomes available, either to the reserve theater box or to any other theater box. In this case, here we see like 46 means that you have to wait until turn 46 before this air group arrives, in this case, to the axis reserve theater box. And then you have the withdraw turn. And withdraw turn indicates a turn in which the air group will be relocated. And we see here two theater, and we have Western Europe, Axis Reserve, Western Europe, Axis Reserve. There are two ways of changing the destination of the withdrawal. The first one is by using the old editor, like this one here. And for instance, exactly, if you want to send, for instance, this air group to Western Europe on turn number 5, we have to type over here number 5 with withdrawal turn, and withdrawal destination theater box number 1. And now we see magic, we see the Western Europe theater box. Now, where do I find the numbers for the theater boxes? Well, they are over here. You click on the theater box, and here you have like 0 means the map, 1 Western Europe, and so on and so forth. There are, let's say, 2 hidden theater boxes, and these theater boxes are the disband and remove. Now, let's say on turn number 5, we want to disband the selected air group. The difference between disbanding and removing is that if an air group disbands, all of its planes will go back to the production pool. If an air group is removed, all of its planes will be lost forever and ever. Now, to disband an air group, you have to type 101. This. I mean, disbands, of course. If you want to remove it, you have to type 102. Removed. That's it. Very easy. Night missions indicate whether the selected air group can fly during both periods of let's say of the day and night cycle, or if it can fly, it can operate only during the night or exclusively during the day. Type mission and type training refers exclusively to the fighter bombers equipped air groups. In this case, here is set as fighter. If you click, you change it to bomber, and type training fighter, or in this case bomber. And you see also here in the pilots column that the type has changed. Naval only, it's either yes or no, and this reflects whether the selected air group will exclusively take part in naval interdiction missions or not. Pilots and planes, of course, refers to the number of active, total number of planes present in this air group. The button build group is essentially if you want to modify any of the parameters over here, namely the number of planes, and if you want to apply some changes, like in this case, let's add 5 planes in the reserve. If you click on build group, now we have 5 more planes, and we actually have 40 planes over here. And use to rename, don't use it. Just forget about it. This belongs to the very old editor in which there were multiple, let's say, there were several more air groups, and this renaming function was basically used to say, okay, this air group becomes, I don't know, the air group in the ID 200 on a specific turn. There is a way to rename air groups, and we will see it when we will talk about the new editor. And theater box is, of course, you can set here the theater box that shows in which theater box the air group is at the beginning of the campaign, in this case. And then you have the unlock function. The unlock function, exactly, will permanently lock the selected air group in the target theater box. This can be a bit tricky to use because if you lock an air group, in this case, like this one here in this case, and this air group will be moved to the axis reserve, you won't move it back to the map because it will be locked in the axis reserve theater box, and then in this case, like this one here, we will disband on turn 112. So use this again with caution, otherwise you will get stuck. And here you have, without too many surprises, the list of pilots. You can click over here if you want to add some pilots, and you can have as many pilots as the maximum number of planes available to the selected air group in this specific time period of the campaign. And what I think is really cool is that you can even change the name of the pilots. This is just fantastic for me because, for instance, you can call this guy Joachim Marseille, like the famous German ace who fought in North Africa. And here you can change the experience, the fatigue, and even set the delay, just like for the air group. And experience and fatigue can only reach 99. If you set to 100, it won't work. 99, it actually works. And the same is true for fatigue. 99 works, 100 doesn't work. If you want to change and go above 99, you have to go again to the CSV, to the pilot, you export, you look for the column called exp and fat, and you can set the fatigue and the experience above 99. Just remember that the maximum values that you can assign is 255. If you set it to 256, somehow it will roll back to 0. And why is this? I have no idea. But yeah. Anyway. And this, let's say, concludes the tutorial about the air groups. If we then click over here, we go to the air operational groups. Again, 2 columns, right hand side the list, left hand side the information. ID is this one here. Here you change the name, nation, Germany, player axis, again is visual. And now, different AOGs have different hierarchy on the map, and this is determined by the size indicated over here. Now the air HQ, but yeah, exactly. Let's go with order. The Air HQ is the the highest um, say is the AOGs in the highest position of the hierarchy. In this case, is the Luftflotte 4, and here you can change it. You can set even the supreme command of the Luftwaffe, the Hungarian High Command, blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. Linked with, honestly, I have no idea of what does it mean. Assigned to is the in this case is the 5th Flieger Corps, which is the HQ in the rank above. In this case, the Jagdgeschwader 3. And the position in the ranks is determined by the size. In this case, here we have a regiment level AOG. If we click on 0, we have the division. If we click on 1, we have the army. On 2, the corps, and 3, again division, brigade, and I think 5 is regiment. Yeah, okay. Why there are 2 division levels, I don't know, but just keep in mind that the lower the rank and the more options you have here to assign it to a specific higher AOG. And for instance, if we select the 5th Flieger Corps, where is it? Oh yeah, it's here. It says it is a core level AOGs, and that's why you can only assign it to a Luftflotte 4. And if you click on the Luftflotte 4, you cannot assign it to anyone because this is the highest AOG in the hierarchy, basically. Let's go back to the 3rd Jagdgeschwader. Delay, again, as we've seen it before, the number of turns that you have to wait before the AOG becomes available. Command points used and command points limit is self-explanatory, and this depends also on the size of the AOG. The bigger the AOG and the more command point limits it has, exactly like shown in here. Withdraw turn, we have just seen it, and then here you can set the rename. Now, this is the only way to rename AOGs using the old editor. And for instance, you see over here, the 26th Zerstörergeschwader becomes the 6th Jagdgeschwader on turn 159. And you see it also indicated over here in the column. Here you have the information of regarding the air groups which are currently attached to these AOGs, and here you have the okay, of course, the name of the air group, how many planes are in this air group. Here you see the information about the airbase. Here the color indicates if the airbase is say fully equipped or it has some problems. Here you have the percentage of let's say how do I call it, the percentage of planes already parked stationed in this airbase, and here is the ratio of personnel versus the ratio needed for this airbase. And in this case, I think this means that there is like a shortage of personnel concerning the airbase of Poznan. Existing air profiles. This indicates which type of which profiles of aircraft can be attached to the specific AOGs, which in this case is only the German single-engine fighters. And if you want to add some more profiles, you click on Add Air Profile, and there you have the list of all the profiles. And which means that if you set also, for instance, medium bombers, now you will also be able to attach air groups equipped, for instance, with the Heinkel HE-111. And subordinate AOGs refers to the Corps and Army AOGs. In this case over here, you see exactly, you have the all the list of subordinated AOGs. And I would say that this concludes this tutorial. I know at the end I got a bit lost. I'm sorry about it. I think I need to double check the info that I told you here, because I'm not 100% sure. So if I said something wrong, no, don't worry. In the next tutorial, I will fix it. But yeah, so as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting my channel. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you all again next week, in which we will talk about the Units tab. Until then, my friends, take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and yeah, I'll see you all again in 7 days.